Share what we're looking for our goals, and then go over an employee opinion survey. So as far as, and we go through, and I spelled people wrong. Oh, that's awesome. We'll go through each of our categories that we start out with, same things that you guys are evaluated on. And so regarding the people, or PIPEL, 60% of our RNs are now certified, and this is up 4% from last year, so we were at 56 last year. RN 3s, we now have 4 RN 3s. So Maggie, Mona, Shelly, and Tankama are all our RN 3s. And then we got a new RN 4, which is Irene, who is now our perioperative educator. We also got a new manager, which I didn't put on there, but our co-manager, you know, is Kim, that's on there. 82% of the RNs are now BSN, and now that we are magnet, the requirement is that we have at least 80% BSN. So as we go forward looking at RNs, that is something that we'll look at, is whether or not the RN coming in, it does have their BSN or not. 66% of our ORTs are certified, the others are grandfathered in, and then we have one of our anesthesia techs who has their certification, and that's Evelyn, who works the evening shifts. On service pillar, we have from 2017 to 2017, we did the Press Ganey is what we were doing previously. And then we started trying a new one this past year. It didn't really count towards our scoring yet, but it's the National Research Corporation of Health. And if you've seen this one, it's a little bit different. Our target for this coming year is going to be 88.1. There's some key drivers that we're really focusing on, and these are, one of them is, did your nurse listen to you carefully? We are doing roundings. Kim and I will be going in with you into rooms. We've done some of the aided roundings where we kind of listen to how you talk to the patient, and if you are, you know, answering the questions for aided. And if you ask me right now, I'll let my new manager tell me what aided stands for, because I forget all of them. But you acknowledge the patient, you spend the time with them, you tell them exactly time-wise what the expectation is, you tell them what, you know, your plan is, what is your role that's in there, and then you thank them for, you know, coming here. You want to make sure also that you are helping as far as talking to your other employees up regarding that. How often did you get help from staff as soon as you wanted it is another one. And then how often did you have enough input in what's safe for your care? On the quality for this year, magnet is a big thing that we had for this year. And you know what? This is not my newest. I just realized I had a lot more that was on this, and I must have not saved it, or I didn't put the right one up, but that's okay. We'll go with it. So we made magnet this year. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we quit now? No, it means that we continue. So in 4 years again, we'll be up again for magnet. So we need to keep on looking at ways to improve and projects that we can work on. The other thing was Epic that we went through, and though Epic is not perfect, we are getting much better at it. Melissa will be with us until March for Epic, and so we'll continue to learn off of that. And then on our finances, we did 12,189 cases. This was a little bit less than last year. It's a negative 1.8%, which was 181 cases. But if you look at Harvey and the impact of Harvey on us, we average about 45 cases a day. So we would have succeeded last year's had Harvey not taken place, but it did. And it's not just that week. The effects of that went for weeks on as people are working with their disasters at home and rebuilding their houses and that, and not so likely as doing the surgery. Okay, so orthopedics was our largest not increase, but the largest number of type surgeries that we did. Plastics was the largest increase in the service line, and I think Dr. Crosby was a big input regarding that one on there. And then our final inventory count was at 0.38%, which is very good. And I have to thank Don and his group especially for doing that. If you remember in the old days, everyone had to stay, and we all had to do hands-on with count. This was a very difficult count for them this year because of the Epic being there. It was completely different. It wasn't the scanning system that Don had put in previously. So this was a little more hands-on for them, and it took several days from them, but they did an excellent job. I know this isn't my right one. Let me see real quick if I can pull up the other one, because there's a lot more added on that. If not, then we'll continue with that